there's so much technology that's about to change the way that we deliver water, that we deliver energy. But as we move forward through the rest of the day, keeping that technology in mind, that microprocessor that Manoj mentioned of how we change the world, we're really going to focus on increasingly on how this impacts people. The next session that we've got right now is a very quick virtual reality demonstration, and so I'd like to bring Jason back up on stage and some of the other Z Prime team to show you some of the research that we've been doing in the water energy nexus space and how that can impact the world to come through some virtual reality. Jason, come on back up here.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Yeah, Jorge, Becca, these are our two virtual reality developers. So it was interesting, if you watched the end of Manoj's video, he was like, let's start building things. So in the spirit of building things, so a market research company that evolves, it's evolving into a technology company because we need to start saying, what are we doing to really impact the future? So we thought about this. You kind of heard the stats. 2.1 billion people lack access to safe drinking water. In some countries, it takes 60 minutes to collect water in sub-Saharan Africa. So think about just how your easy access, which you're doing now, takes you maybe 5 seconds. We never think about this. So 60 minutes, we think about being in traffic, especially being here in California or being in Austin where we're from. But then there's another 1.1 billion, as you just heard, who lack access to electricity supply. So as we think about that, I wanted to bring this home up. And just think about and just look at it, and maybe just where does your mind take you when you see this? This home, it doesn't have any water. It does have electricity. And the folks that live in this home, it takes them about 30 minutes to get water. They have to wait in line to get water. This is another home, family, also doesn't have water. Same thing. You know, where any guesses to where this is at? Close. Any others? Getting closer. One more. Okay. This is actually in Creedmoor, Texas. It's probably about a 15-minute drive from Austin. So as SCW came to us and said, how do we start this conversation? This was one of the first things that came to mind, was this story of that. We live in Austin, and if you're an Austinite, you know how much people say how great and how they love Austin. But what came to my mind was the homes and the people in those homes we just saw. And I was like, if our part of this can help these folks, we know the global statistics and the struggles there. But this is in our backyard, and they still struggle to get water. So with that, what we decided to do is you're mixing, how do you engage this next generation so that we don't have that, not just in around the world, but in the U.S. So you think of the millennial generation and the younger generation, and we know they have to be so much more engaged. Like what worked for myself and others, it's going to take something much different. And it's going to take an outside-the-box approach. One, you have to almost teach them without making them realize they're actually being taught. So with that, we conceptualized this virtual reality experience that we'd like to show you today. It'll take about 2 minutes, and Becca is going to demonstrate it for us. And it's mixing the power of SCW's kind of first-of-class digital engagement platforms, and you can follow the trends of where virtual reality is going. This channel will be used in 2 to 5 years. It will be a staple in terms of engagement. So we want to cue it. And so what we're seeing now is just what we've done is we've created an app so that the user starts in the app, and as you guys, some of you who are customers at SCW know how powerful the mobile platform is. But we also built into this a journey, and we're taking people through that journey of what we just talked about, of the people that take 60 to 30 minutes to collect water, and we'd like to show you that quickly. So in this experience, we take users And keep in mind, the users we're going after are the younger generation who are really looking for purposeful, meaningful work. And through this journey, the user gets to feel like what it's like to have to actually collect water in a war zone or in some place that doesn't have access to water supply. This is the first time people can actually see this. You've probably seen lots of videos, but you can put yourselves in the shoes of the user to feel what it's like to have to struggle and actually have to collect water to be able to serve just the basic needs that we have every day. And just kind of the background. So in order to do this, this was a mixture of motion capture, voice, and here we actually have to physically fill the water, and the water has to be brought in. Oh, just let it run. So basically what we're doing is the user has to go collect the water and then take the water back to the hospital. And those of you who get the chance to experience, we've actually made it harder for them to make the journey back to the hospital. And so the user is now entering the hospital to be able to treat the patient. So in the context of how you engage and educate folks, when you ask what we're doing, this is our attempt to take a next step to educate, and we appreciate the partnership with SCW to be able to bring this to you guys.
This is Dr. Inja.
And so we've also incorporated into this is an engineer who just happens to be working on a desalination plant to help power and provide clean water to the village.
Food, education, and even businesses. This is why I'm designing the solar-powered desalination tower. It's just behind the hospital here. Come with me to see it.
And so what it concludes by is what something that you guys are probably working on too, some of you in the room, is energy storage. How to use energy storage to power solar. So we've mixed that into there as well, as some of these projects are being worked on across the world.
Power collected during the day. You should know that with the advancements of solar storage,
so with that, I think that's a good wrap up of our demonstration. And I think when you ask what we're doing, this is the first step. For some, it's abstract, but for us, as we want to take that next generation and encourage them for action, we want to bring this, and we're going to be showing this to utilities and schools over the next year. And we thank you so much for the SCW for partnering with us on this journey. And actually, the VR demo is outside, along with some other things we've developed in partnership with SCW, and we want to thank you so much, and hope you guys enjoyed that, and thank you for your time. Chris?